Hello everyone. This video clip let you learn language in spoken discourse again, but it focuses on speech act and speech event. Let's start with me in terms of this section with the introduction. Not only do people produce utterances containing grammatical structure and word, but they also perform action with those utterances. Take a look at the following example with me. Your fire. Your fire. So from this spoken utterance, it contains an act of ending someone's employment by the boss. We can see that the action that performed via such utterances is called speech act, and usually given specific label such as apology, complaint, invitation, promise, or request. Based on the speech act theory, everyone, we can see the work from the premise that language perform the action as well. So it does mean that when we speak, we are doing sing as well. Based on Austin, he distinguished three different acts or phrases involving in any given speech act. And these three different acts could have differentiate referential meaning, intended meaning, and understood meaning. The three aspects are listed as following, everyone. The first one we call locutionary act, second one allocutionary act, and third one perlocutionary act. In terms of the first one, locutionary act, it is also known as proposition. What is it for locutionary act? It is the basic literal meaning or direct meaning of the utterance, which is conveyed by the particular word and structure which the utterance contains. So to sum up, it refers to the pure or direct meaning. Next is allocutionary act. For the second aspect mentioned by Austin, it refers to intended meaning of the utterance or the conventional force that an utterance is understood to have. So to sum up, it is intended meaning. Next is perlocutionary act. For the third one, it reveals the effect achieved by an utterance on the hearer or listener. Now, to peel off what or to further explain what I have just mentioned theoretically about the three aspects at the moment provided by Austin, take a look at one example. Dara, I forgot to go to the bank machine. When we analyze or when we mention in terms of the three acts at the moment, we can see something based on this provided example. Now, we resume from the locutionary act. In terms of this act, the utterance of 9 words in this particular order, which indicate or show semantically that you forgot to go to the bank machine. So this is the literal meaning of the utterance. The second act, allocutionary act. It is performed by the utterance, that is the intended meaning of this 9 words in this context, which probably is something along the line of, please lend me some cash, I can buy a ticket, because I don't have enough cash, because I forgot to go to the bank machine. In terms of perlocutionary act, performed by your utterance, is in its effect, or can be understood. It causes your friend to think that because you forgot to go to the bank machine, you don't have enough money in order to buy the ticket, encourages her to offer to lend you $10 for buying the ticket. The same utterance can potentially have quite different illusionary forces that can be, for example, promise versus warning. Take a look at this example, everyone. I'll see you later. It's symbolized by letter A. So now take a look at the following assumption, or what we can see from the statement A. So it can be with the aspect like, I predict that, I promise you that, I warn you that. So the statement B, C, and D, we can get it from the statement A, I'll see you later. Based on this, we can see a different way that we can interpret from the statement I'll see you later. Therefore, we have to consider if it, that is, stand for electionary force indicating devices, and another one is felicity condition, in order to catch up the right one in terms of the utterance. Because in reflection from our singular example, we can see that we can have three possible intended meaning, okay, in terms of electionary forces or intended meaning. Is it about what I predict? Is it about what I promise? Is it about what I warn you? Now, take a look at the importance of if it, electionary force indicating devices. What is it for if it? If it can be an indication in the speaker utterance of the communicative force of that utterance, which includes word order, stress, intonation, lower voice, quality for a warning or a threat, and performing verb, for example, like promising. So we can mention in terms of electionary act of the three that we can make interpretation from our singular again. With this in mind, in terms of different property related to the utterance, we can think of the stress, okay? We can think of the high and lower level when you pronounce the sentence that we call intonation, okay? That can let you learn that it can be a threat or warning. For example, so when you put your voice, okay, that can be high and sharp, okay, so we can learn that it should be the warning signs from someone else to you. So here can be what we can mention from electionary I'll see you later. You're going, okay, from statement A, you're going, I tell you go, right? And then you're going, I request confirmation about you go or not. And another one, are you going? Okay, I ask you if you go or not. Okay, so in case I tell you to go, okay, it can be just the simple question, okay, that you want to inform someone, okay, in order to go, okay. You're going, I request you, okay. For this one, we can see that the voice, okay, can be a bit higher for confirming the request to someone, okay. Are you going? Okay, it can be higher, okay, because you want to ask someone to go, right? Therefore, to conclude from this indication in terms of the speaker utterance, you need to be a good listener and to be a good observer to know about the stress, where it is about intonation, okay, about lower or higher voice, okay, and then you can have your contextual interpretation. Then it should be the strong or not strong. It should be the sentence that the speaker try to emphasize what okay, in the utterance that he speak out or he write down. But actually, for this one, we refer to the spoken ones that you can observe, okay, actually based on the stress. But the writing one cannot express in terms of this. Next is about felicity condition, everyone. Felicity condition can be expected or appropriate condition for the performance of a speech act to be recognized as intended. For example, I sentence you to 6 months in prison. For this utterance, the performance will be infelicitous, okay, or we can say it means inappropriate if the speaker is not a specific person in a special context. In this one, the one that is in charge of using this utterance, okay, or use it verbally, should be the contextual case of a judge in a courtroom. All right. Therefore, we can refer, okay, or we can recognize the intended meaning from this. So to conclude, for felicity condition, it refers to the context or appropriate condition for the performance of the speech act that we can refer to intended meaning. Like this should be the one who is the judge in the courtroom, that it is it is not available for everyone that can sentence anyone, because legally and officially I here, okay, should be referred to the judge that can be not any other. Now, I would like to turn your interest to another one. Is about the type of condition. Actually, we have different type of condition, that we have general, content, preparatory, sincerity, and essential one. In terms of general condition, it is about what we presuppose the participant knowledge of a language being used. Okay, yes. And content condition, it concerns the appropriate content, feature of an utterance. Preparatory condition deal with the differences of various elocutionary acts. For example, it can be those of promising, or is it about a warning context. Next is sincerity condition, that it counts with speaker intention in order to carry out a certain act. Next and last, it can be essential condition. This one combined with a specification of what must be in the utterance content, the context, and the speaker intention in order for a specific act to be appropriately or felicitously performed. So it's combined from what we mentioned previously from the beginning, right? Like the content here, like the context, okay, and intention of the speaker, that we can interpret appropriately eventually. Now, to clarify about this condition in stages, take a look at one of the example here. Don't go out in the rain or you'll get cold. When we analyze in terms of general condition, the hearer must make sure or understand of the language being used. Okay, this one can be understood in terms of English language or any particular language. Next is about content condition. Content condition here, the utterance must refer to the context of the future event, because It is raining, but they alert you not go out in the rain. The future one, it means that you will get a chance, okay, in order to catch a cold. Preparatory condition. It isn't clear the hearer know the event will occur. In case it will happen or it occur, okay, the event will not have a beneficial effect. So why it will not have a beneficial effect? Because when you catch a cold, it can be your hair problem. That is one of the negative effects for the hearer to get such alertness. Sincerity condition. Sincerity condition, this is when the speaker believes the future event will be with a negative effect on the hearer. So this one, like I mentioned earlier or recently, is about the negative effect of hair that the hearer can catch a cold in the rain. And last one is essential condition. The utterance changes the speaker's state from non-informing or not being informed of the bad future event to be informed. That can be in the appropriate interpretation, okay, from the context of this utterance. Next is about performative hypothesis. Performative hypothesis assume that for speech act to be performed where utterance that we have lettered you here to symbolize, or utterances that explicitly or directly state the action that they perform with word. Normally, there is a clause containing performative verb VP, which makes the electionary act, electionary force explicit. The structure can be as following, everyone. I, okay, with or without hereby, VP, performative verb, that, with or without it, you or utterance. In this clause, the subject must be the first person, singular, like I, followed by the adverb hereby, which indicate that the utterance counts as an action by being uttered. There is also a performative verb VP in the present tense and an indirect object in the second person singular you. Now, take a look at another section about the types of performative. So the first one, it is called explicit performative, and next is implicit performative. Let me begin from explicit performative. It can be those which contain a performative verb such as promise, deny, warned. Okay, this which name the speech act or elocutionary force of the sentence, like the structure that I have just mentioned in the previous slide, everyone. So you can try with explicit performative verb like I hereby tell you that work was done by Pisat and myself. Next, I hereby order you that you clean up this mess. Next is implicit performative. This one, we have no need to contain a performative verb. So you just say the work was done by Pisat and myself. So comparing to the previous one in explicit performative, you have no I hereby tell you that, okay? But we start from the work was done by Pisat and myself. The second one also, we have no I hereby order you that, okay? But just say clean up this mess. Next is explicit performative versus implicit performative. Explicit performative. For this one, it makes interpretation of utterance is clear. In addition, it also indicates that certain adverbs are only used in explicit performative rather than implicit performative, like I hereby, okay? I hereby tell you that, blah blah blah, okay? I hereby order you that, blah blah blah. Anyway, for implicit performative, it makes utterance less of an impact on the hearer. It is not strong. It is not clear as to what verb can be treated as performative verb. Okay? So we have one question. How can speech act be interpreted since it is not known as to how many performative verbs exist in any language? Now, take a look at different classifications, okay, of speech act in order to answer this question. The first classification of speech act is called declaration, everyone. Declaration can be the speech act which bring about the state of affair or situation to which they refer to, or change the word where uttered. For example, with the verb like blessing, baptizing, excommunicating, firing, right? So this verb can be contextualized used in the affair of religion, okay, or like the case of or example of Christianity, okay, that when you are out of involving in the state of Christianity, we can use the word excommunicate, for example, okay. So it means that you get out or you change the word communication with any affair in public or normal one. For example, during the wedding ceremony, the act of marriage is performed when the phrase I now pronounce you man and wife is uttered. Okay. So this is common and it can be general one, okay, that you involve in your affair in the marriage day, everyone. Next is representative. For this can be those kind of speech act that state what the speaker believes to be the case or not. We have the verb like stating, claiming, insisting, asserting, or telling. For example, you say, this is a German car. This is a German car. For this one, you want to state, okay, or to show, right, that your belief in this car is as a car which is made in Germany that we call a German car. Next is expressive. Expressive can be the kind of speech act in which the speaker expresses feeling and attitude about something, such as an apology, complaint, or to thank someone, to congratulate someone. For example, we have the verb like congratulating, singing, or welcoming. For example, when you say with the utterance, the meal was delicious. With this one, you want to show your feeling, okay, in order to thank someone, okay, or to congratulate someone because the meal, all right, was delicious. This one can be congratulation. This one can be with a sense of singing for the nice meal offered by someone in this context. Next is directive. Those kinds of speech acts that have the function of getting the listener to do something, such as a suggestion, a request, or even comment, everyone. So like the verb ordering, commanding, or about asking. For example, you say, please sit down, okay? Yeah, so it can be suggestion, right, that you suggest someone to sit down. Why don't you close the window? Okay, so it can be commanding, right, or ordering someone to close the window for you. Commissive. Commissive can be the kind of speech act that commit the speaker to doing something in the future, such as promise or can be a threat one. The verb can be about promising or threatening. For example, If you don't stop fighting, I'll call the police. It can be with a sense of threatening everyone. I'll take you to the movie tomorrow. It can be the promise, right? Next is about direct and indirect speech act. Direct and indirect speech act we have learned one time already in the lesson about grammatic. How about this one? When the form of locutionary act correspond directly with illocutionary act, these utterances are called direct speech act. For example, you talk to your roommate that you forgot to go to the bank machine while you were running errand. In the above example, the locutionary act is a declarative statement or exclamation. You are not asking your friend to do anything in particular about this situation, and you just announce the fact that you remember what you have forgotten to do. And this one, you have forgotten about going to the bank machine. Anyway, from this above example, it can cause indirect speech act. In case the occurrence of indirect speech act, it does involve intended meaning that are different from locutionary act or referential meaning of the word. For example, again, like I forgot to go to the bank machine. Intended meaning of the speaker is not just informing that you have forgotten going to the bank machine, but your intended meaning can be different from locutionary act. So you want to request for your friend for borrowing the money. That is your intended meaning. So it's easy to identify whether it is indirect speech act or direct speech act. In case locutionary act and illocutionary act can be justified, okay, or they are the same, not different, okay. So we call direct speech act. But in case the information that we infer from locutionary act can be different from our illocutionary act, so we call indirect speech act. Thank you for your listening and watching, everyone. See you again soon with the coming clip with the new lesson, everyone. Goodbye.